Day 66 of reading through the scriptures. We're going to be in Exodus chapter 16 to start out, but we're also doing Isaiah 66, Psalm 66, and somewhere in Luke. And I'll probably name it after Isaiah 66, the video, because that's one of the most interesting chapters in the Bible. And they set out from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came to the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai. Or Elim, maybe? I don't know how to pronounce that. Tell me in the comments. On the 15th day of the second new moon, after their going out of the land of Mitzrayim. And all the congregation of the children of Israel grumbled against Moshe and Aharon in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said to them, If only we had died by the hand of Yahweh in the land of Mitzrayim, where we sat by the pots of meat, and when we ate bread to satisfaction. For you have brought us out into this wilderness to put all this assembly to death with hunger. Excuse me. And Yahweh said to Moshe, See, I am raining bread from the heavens for you. And the people shall go out and gather a day's portion every day, in order to try them, whether they walk in my Torah or not. And it shall be on the 6th day that they shall prepare what they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. And Moshe and Aharon said to all the children of Israel, At evening you shall know that Yahweh has brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, and in the morning you shall see the esteem of Yahweh, for he hears your grumblings against Yahweh. And what are we that you grumble against us? And Moshe said, In that Yahweh gives you meat to eat in the evening, and in the morning bread to satisfaction. For Yahweh hears your grumblings which you make against him. And what are we? Your grumblings are not against us, but against Yahweh. And Moshe said to Aharon, Say to all the children of all the congregation of the children of Israel, Come near before Yahweh, for he has heard your grumblings. And it came to be, as Aharon spoke to all the congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and see, the esteem of Yahweh appeared in the cloud. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, I have heard the grumblings of the children of Israel. Speak to them, saying, Between the evenings you are to eat meat, and in the morning you are to be satisfied with bread, and you shall know that I am Yahweh your Elohim. And it came to be that quails came up at evening and covered the camp, and the morning the dew lay all around the camp. And the layer of dew went up, and see, on the surface of the wilderness was a small round substance, as fine as frost on the ground. And the children of Israel saw, and they said to each other, What is it? For they did not know what it was. And Moshe said to them, It is the bread which Yahweh has given you to eat. This is the word which Yahweh has commanded. Let every man gathered according to each one's need, an omer for each being, according to the number of beings. Let every man take for those who are in his tent. And the children of Israel did so, and gathered, some more, some less. And they measured it by omers, and he who gathered much did not have too much, and he who gathered little did not have too little. Each one gathered according to his need. And Moshe said, Let no one leave any of it until morning. And they did not listen to Moshe, so some of them left part of it until morning. And it bred worms and stank, and Moshe was wroth with them. And they gathered it every morning, each one according to his need. And when the sun became hot, it melted. And it came to be on the 6th day that they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for each one. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moshe. And he said to them, This is what Yahweh has said. Tomorrow is a rest, a Sabbath set apart to Yahweh. That which you bake, bake, and that which you cook, cook, and lay up for yourselves all that is left over to keep until morning. And they laid it up until morning, as Moshe commanded, and it did not stink, and no worm was in it. And Moshe said, Eat it today, for today is the Sabbath to Yahweh. Today you do not find it in the field. Gather it 6 days, but on the 7th day, which is the Sabbath, there is none. And it came to be that some of the people went out on the 7th day to gather, but they found none. And Yahweh said to Moshe, How long shall you refuse to guard my commands and my Torah? For see, because Yahweh has given you the Sabbath, therefore he is giving you bread for 2 days on the 6th day. Let each one stay in his place, and do not let anyone go out of his place on the 7th day. So the people rested on the 7th day. And the house of Israel called its name manna, and it was like white coriander seed, and the taste of it was like thin cakes made with honey. And Moshe said, This is the word which Yahweh has commanded. Fill an omer with it to keep it for your generations, so that they see the bread with which I fed you in the wilderness, when I brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim. And Moshe said to Aharon, take a pot and put an omer of manna in it, and set it down before Yahweh to keep for your generations. As Yahweh commanded Moshe, so did Aharon set it down before the witness to keep. And the children of Israel ate manna 40 years until they came to the inhabited land. They ate manna until they came to the border of the land of Canaan. And an omer is 1/10 of an ephah. Isaiah 66. Thus said Yahweh, the heavens are my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where is this house that you have built for me, and where is this place of my rest? And all these my hand has made, and all these that exist, declares Yahweh. Yet to such a one I look, on him who is poor and bruised of spirit, and who trembles at my word. But whoever slays the bull strikes a man. Whoever slaughters the lamb breaks a dog's neck. Whoever brings a grain offering, pig's blood. Whoever burns incense blesses an idol. Indeed, they have chosen their own ways, and their being delights in their abominations. I shall also choose their punishments and bring their fears on them. Because I called, but no one answered. I spoke, and they did not hear. And they did evil before my eyes, and chose what was displeasing to me. Hear the word of Yahweh, you who tremble at his word. Your brothers who hate you, who cast you out for my name's sake, said, let Yahweh be esteemed so that we see your joy. But they are put to shame. A roaring sound from the city, a voice from the Hekel, the voice of Yahweh repaying his enemies. Before she labored, she gave birth. Before a pain came to her, she was delivered of a male child. Who has heard it like this? Who has heard the like of this? Who has seen the like of these? Is a land brought forth in one day? Is a nation born at once? For as soon as Zion labored, she gave birth to her children. Shall I bring to birth and not give delivery, says Yahweh? Shall I who give delivery restrain birth, said your Elohim? Rejoice with Jerusalem and be glad with her, all you who love her. Rejoice greatly with her, all you who mourn for her. So you feed and shall be satisfied with the breast of her comforts, so that you drink deeply and shall delight yourselves in her overflowing esteem. For thus said Yahweh, see, I am extending peace to her like a river, and the esteem of the nations like a flowing stream. And you shall feed, you shall be carried on the side, and be fondled on her knees. As one whom his mother comforts, so I comfort you. And in Jerusalem you are comforted. And you shall see, and your heart shall rejoice, and your bones flourish as tender grass. And the hand of Yahweh shall be known to his servants, and his displeasure to his enemies. For look, Yahweh comes with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his displeasure with burning, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword Yahweh shall judge all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. Those who set themselves apart and cleanse themselves at the gardens, after one in the midst, eating flesh of pigs and the abomination of the mouse, are snatched away together, declares Yahweh. And I, because of their works and their imaginations, am coming to gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my esteem. And I shall set a sign among them, and shall send some of them, those who escape, to the nations, Tarshish and Pul and Lud, who draw the bow, and Tubal and Yawan, the coastlands afar off, who have not heard my report nor seen my esteem. And they shall declare my esteem among the nations. And they shall bring all your brothers as an offering to Yahweh out of all the nations, on horses and in chariots and in litters, on mules and on camels, to my set-apart mountain, Jerusalem, declares Yahweh. And as the children of Israel bring an offering in a clean vessel into the house of Yahweh. And from them, too, I shall take for priests, for Levites, declares Yahweh. For as the new heavens and the new earth that I make stand before me, declares Yahweh, so your seed and your name shall stand. And it shall be that from new moon to new moon, and from Sabbath to Sabbath, all flesh shall come to worship before me, declares Yahweh. And they shall go forth and look upon the corpses of the men who have transgressed against me. For their worm shall not die, and their fire not be quenched, and they shall be repulsive to all flesh. Psalm 66. Shout with joy to Elohim, all the earth. Sing out the splendor of his name, make his praise esteemed. Say to Elohim, how awesome are your works! Through the greatness of your power, your enemies pretend obedience to you. All the earth bow to you, they sing praises to you. They praise your name, Selah. Come and see the works of Elohim, awesome acts towards the sons of men. He has turned the sea into dry land, that they went through the river on foot, the air we rejoiced in him. Who rules by his power forever, his eyes keeping watch on the nations? Let the rebellious not exalt themselves. Selah. Bless our Elohim, you peoples, and sound his praise abroad, who keeps us in life and does not allow our feet to be moved. For you, O Elohim, have proved us. You have refined us as silver is refined. You have brought us into the net. You have laid affliction on our loins. You have let men ride at our head. We went through fire and through water, but you brought us out to plenty. I enter your house with ascending offerings. I complete my vows to you. That which my lips have uttered, and my mouth spoken to my distress, ascending offerings of fatlings I offer to you. With the incense of rams I offer bulls with goats. Selah. Come here, all you who fear Elohim, and relate what he has done for my being. I called to him with my mouth, and praise was in my tongue. If I have seen wickedness in my heart, Yahweh would not hear. Truly Elohim has heard me, he has given heed to the voice of my prayer. Blessed be Elohim, who has not turned away my prayer, nor his loving commitment from me. I found verse 3, the second half of it, your enemies pretend obedience to you, to be quite interesting. I'll probably talk more about that at the end of the video. I'll also love to hear comments what you think that means. Luke chapter 22. And the festival of Matzah drew near, which is called Pesach. And the chief priests and the scribes were seeking how to kill him, for they feared the people. And Satan entered into Yehuda, who was called man from Chirioth, who was numbered among the 12. And he went and spoke with the chief priests and captains, how he might deliver him up to them. And they were glad and agreed to give him silver. And he promised and was seeking an occasion to deliver him up to them, away from the crowd. And the day of unleavened bread came when the Pesach had to be slaughtered. And he sent Kepha and Yochanan, saying, Go and prepare the Pesach for us to eat. And they said to him, Where do you wish us to prepare? And he said to them, See, as you enter into the city, a man shall meet you carrying a jar of water. Follow him into the house he enters, and you shall say to the master of the house, The teacher says to you, Where is the guest room where I might eat the Pesach with my taught ones? And he shall show you a large furnished upper room. Prepare it there. And going, they found it as he had said to them, and they prepared the Pesach. And when the hour had come, he sat down, and the 12 emissaries with him. And he said to them, With desire I have desired to eat this Pesach with you before my suffering. For I say to you, I shall certainly not eat of it again until it is filled with the reign of Elohim. And taking the cup, giving thanks, he said, Take this and divide it among yourselves. For I say to you, I shall certainly not drink of the fruit of the vine until the reign of Elohim comes. And taking bread, giving thanks, he broke it and gave it to them, saying, This is my body which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me. Likewise the cup also after supper, saying, This cup is the renewed covenant in my blood, which is shed for you. But see, the hand of him delivering me is up with me on the table. For indeed the son of Adam goes as it has been decreed, but woe to that man by whom he is delivered up. And they began to ask them among themselves which of them it could be who was about to do this. And there also took place a dispute among them as to which of them seemed to be greater. And he said to them, The sovereigns of the nations rule over them, and those who control them are called workers of good. But not so with you, but let him who is greatest among you be as the youngest, and the leader as one who serves. For who is greater, the one who sits at the table, or the one who serves? Is it not the one who sits at the table? But I am in your midst as the one who serves. But you are those who have remained with me in my trials. And I covenant for you, as my Father covenanted for me, a reign. To eat and drink at my table, at my reign, and to sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And the master said, Shimon, Shimon, see, Satan has asked for you to sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for you that your belief should not fail. And when you have turned, strengthen your brothers. And he said to him, Master, I am prepared to go with you, both to prison and to death. And he said, I say to you, Kepha, the cock shall not crow at all today until you have denied 3 times that you know me. And he said to them, When I sent you without a purse and bag and sandals, Did you lack any? And they said, None at all. And he said to them, But now let him who has a purse take it, likewise also a bag. And let him who has no sword sell his garment and buy one. For I say to you that what has been written has yet to be accomplished in me, and he was reckoned as with lawless ones. For that which refers to me has an end too. And they said, Master, look, here are 2 swords. But he said to them, That is enough. And coming out, he went to the Mount of Olives, according to usage, and his taught ones also followed him. And coming to the place, he said to them, Pray that you do not enter into trial. And he withdrew from them about a stone's throw, and falling on his knees, he was praying, saying, Father, if it be your counsel, remove this cup from me, yet not my desire, but let yours be done. And there appeared a messenger from heaven to him, strengthening him. And being in agony, he was praying more earnestly, and his sweat became like great drops of blood falling down on the ground. And rising up from prayer, and coming to his taught ones, he found them sleeping from grief. And he said to them, Why do you sleep? Rise and pray, lest you enter into trial. And while he was still speaking, see a crowd, and he who was called Yehuda, one of the 12, was going before them and came near to Yeshua to kiss him. And Yeshua said to him, Yehuda, do you deliver up the son of Adam with a kiss? And those around him, seeing what was about to take place, said to him, Master, shall we strike with his sword? And one of them struck the servant of the high priest and cut off his right ear. But Yeshua answering said, Allow it this far, and touched his ear, and touching his ear, he healed him. And Yeshua said to those who had come against him, the chief priests and captains of the set-apart place and the others, Have you come out as against a robber with swords and clubs? Well, I was with you daily in the set-apart place. You did not lay hands on me, but this is your hour and the authority of darkness. And having seized him, they led him and brought him to the house of the high priest, and Kepha was following at a distance. And when they had lit a fire in the midst of the courtyard, and sat down together, Kepha sat among them. And a certain servant girl, seeing him as he sat by the fire, looked intently at him and said, And this one was with him? But he denied him, saying, Woman, I do not know him. And after a little while another saw him, and said, You are one of them too. But Kepha said, Man, I am not. And about an hour later, another insisted, saying, Truly this one was with him, for he is a Galilean too. But Kepha said, Man, I do not know what you are saying. And immediately, while he was still speaking, a cock crowed. And the master turned and looked at Kepha, and Kepha remembered the word of the master, how he had said to him, Before the cock crows, you shall deny me 3 times. And Kepha went out and wept bitterly. And the men who were holding Yeshua were mocking him, beating him. And having blindfolded him, they were striking him on the face, and were asking him, saying, Prophesy, who is it that struck you? And they said to him much more, blaspheming. And when it became day, the elders of the people, both chief priests and scribes, came together, and they led him into their council, saying, If you are the Messiah, say it to us. And he said to them, If I say to you, you would not believe it at all. And if I asked you, you would not answer me at all. From now on, the son of Adam shall sit on the right hand of the power of Elohim. And they all said, Are you then the son of Elohim? And he said to them, You say that I am. And they said, Why do we need further witness? For we heard it ourselves from his mouth. Okay, I had 2 big questions about what the text said exactly in the original languages. So we're going to evaluate them. The first was the Last Supper. Some people I've heard claim it not to be the Passover meal. But what I'm going to looking in first is the Aramaic English New Testament. And so what they're saying here is in the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is called Pascha, was near. And Yeshua, I'm skipping to verse 8 of 22. Yeshua sent Kepha and Yochanan and said to them, Prepare the Pascha for us that we may eat. Or go prepare the Pascha for us that we may eat. I'm going to read footnote 115, see if that helps us any. See Easter or Pesach in appendix. Okay, here's Easter or Pesach in the appendix. In most Bibles, the term Pascha is understood to mean Passover. It occurs 29 times in the Renewed Covenant writings. There is good reason for this. It is the exact same word for Passover from the Greek, the Hebrew original being Pesach. However, in Acts 12, verse 4, the King James Bible adds the word Easter, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Most Bible scholars assume that the word Easter is derived from the Greek Pascha, but this is certainly not the case. Strong's exhaustive concordance defines Pascha as noun neutral. The definition: the paschal sacrifice, which is accustomed to be offered for the people's deliverance of old from Egypt. The paschal lamb, i.e. the lamb the Israelites were accustomed to slay and eat on the 14th day of the month of Nisan, the first month of their year, in memory of the day of which their fathers preparing to depart from Egypt. This goes on, and I wasn't trying to make the video long. So, basically what we're saying is that's actually Pesach, unleavened bread is the wording we're expecting. Okay, and here's the Aramaic word Pesach. It's actually with a Pei, Sarai, Chet, Aleph. So that's the actual word that they're translating as Pesach or Passover. And so, Aramaic definitely seems to be saying that was a Passover celebration. Now I'm going to look in the Greek, and we're, just for reference, this is the Interlinear Bible. So it's based on the Greek New Testament. So here's verse 1. Drew near the feast of the unleavened bread, being called Passover. And that starts with a pi, so that is going to be Pascha, just like it sounds in the Aramaic. The other thing I wanted to look up the word was in Psalms 3. Psalm 66, verse 3. Second half. Your enemies pretend obedience to you. Alright, I'm going to look in the Interlinear Bible for that. Alright, here is Psalm 66 in the Interlinear Bible. And it is starting from... you read it from right to left. Say to Elohim, how fearful are your works and the might of your power. Your enemies pretend obedience to you. Lecha is to you, I know that. So it is your enemies. Their grammar is different in Hebrew. But I'm going to look up that word, 3581. There's a dictionary here in the Strongest Strongs. 3581. Koa? That doesn't look at all like the word we saw in there. Strength, power, might, ability. Often physical strength and the vigor of good health. Alright, this is where I don't think this is translated the same way. So, sometimes simply ability to accomplish an action, monitor, lizard, some sources, and any kind of lizard, strength, power, might, force, ability, able, chameleon, fruits, in strength, powerful, substance, wealth, weary. Alright, that did not get me pretend at all out of that. Now I want to go back and look at that word again. Okay, back here, 3581. Yod, Kuf, Chet, Shin, Vav. Kuf, Chet is Koach. Kuf, Het, Shin would be more Kochash. Do we have a word like that? Sorry, this is not... I don't know. Alright, right here, 3584 looks a whole lot more legitimate for a word. Kuf, Chet, Shin. So the word in the text was Yod, Kuf, Chet, Shin, Vav. The Yod and the Vav at the beginning and the end are basically past tense, present tense, that type of thing. So this is the root. And it's to be thin, to cringe, to feign obedience, to lie, deceive, fail. To cringe, feign obedience. To cringe, feign obedience, deny. And it's translated deny, submit, denied, fail, lying, belied, deal falsely, deceived, dissembled, faileth, found liars, lied, lieth, lie, submitted. Okay, so that's more consistent with the translation. And this is a legitimate word for, probably they should have had 3584 as the text there. But they put down 3581, so I don't know why they did that. Okay, my daughter here, Amuna, is asking me to pronounce this word. Yichashu? Maybe. The yod makes a yi. That's a kaf and then a chet. Yeah. Yichachshu. Pretend obedience. I'm going to look at that verse in the King James Version now. Okay, this is in the King James, Psalm 66:3, second half. Through the greatness of your power, thy power, shall thine enemies submit themselves unto thee. So, that's got a similar meaning, but it's much more what I'm used to hearing said. And now I'm in the NIV, and the last half of that verse, Psalm 66:3, is so great is your power that your enemies cringe before you. Okay, so it's got a lot of different ways to say it, but they all have a similar meaning. I'd love to hear your comments. Hi, baby. This is your happy baby video. We've got fingers here at the end.